Good morning. It is great to be back with all of you. Welcome. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. I am here with Joe Dutkiewicz this morning. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Lisa.
Good to have you here bright and early.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun to be in the corporate headquarters here.
So this morning, joining you bright and early, we are kicking off a brand new 5-day series called Finding Freedom Now. And Joe is joining up with me on this series. If you haven't signed up for it, go ahead and do that. We'll put a link in the comments, and you can get bonus materials. So we have a little workbook that you'll be able to get. There are different aspects of the program that will be coming into our class site. Hey, Jenny, good morning. Hope you had a great weekend. And so as we get going this morning, I'm excited, Joe.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm excited because we get to talk to people that are kind of feeling stuck.
Yeah.
Doesn't it sound weird? I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
But did you ever play the game Battleship as a kid?
Oh, yeah, I loved it.
Do you know, putting those coordinates out there, and just being able to be the one who just blew up the ship, right?
And watch the expression on the other person's face. Oh,
I know.
it wiped out my destroyer.
Exactly. I loved the electronic version.
Yeah.
That was my favorite. But
I remember playing with my sister, and then she would play the sister card and be, my battleship.
Hey, Dee Dee, good to see you this morning. As we talk about this Battleship game, it's actually similar to what we're talking about in this Finding Freedom Now course, because we have coordinates, right, as we move through life. And the coordinates to this game, our game of life, are actually similar but different. In this game, we have a battlefield, and it's either a battlefield of your mind, and one of the coordinates is your mind, and then there's a battlefield coordinate of outside forces, external forces. And that's what people think that we have to start dealing with in order to start finding that freedom that we all want. We all desire it. But yet, I think there's another place we need to start.
Really, what might that be?
I'm thinking it's the law of awareness.
Law of awareness. So know yourself to grow yourself. It's one of my favorite laws. One of our mentors always loved each chapter more than the previous one because we get to find out more about ourselves.
So true.
Law of awareness is a great one because it really focuses in on what is that gap that we have and in our knowledge, and why is it there? Exactly.
And I always like how he would say, what do you want? What do you really, really want? Tell me what you want, and I'll give you what you really, really want. That's what we're all about today, is discovering how do we get to that point of what we really want, what we really, really want. Do you have some suggestions for us, Joe?
Sure. Well, so there's 3 different ways of looking at how we look at our what we want. One is we just don't care, and we go away, and we just be confused, and we dabble in things because we don't really know what we want. We're just lost in space here, to quote an old TV show. Warning, Mr. Robinson. But the second one is you know what you want, but you don't do anything. And so you're left with this frustration, I want to do something, but I don't know where I'm going. But I don't really care to go there. So it's this almost a laziness factor. But it's more this day-to-day thing that we all face. We know we want this dream. When I was little, I wanted to be an astronaut because we were sitting in grade school and we watched the first Apollo missions. Yes, I'm old. We watched the Apollo missions and, landing on the moon and those steps the astronauts took. And that just fired you up and say, I want to do that. That would be so cool. But then you just kind of go through the rest of school and you never apply yourself. or some people never applied themselves like me to be an astronaut. Of course, I then needed glasses, and that kind of prevented me. But but then the final thing. So one last thing is, you know what you want, and you actually start doing it. You know where you're at, but you have to know yourself, and that takes some insight into who you are.
It does, and I think the important place to start is to start thinking about what is it that you enjoy doing, and what are your strengths.
Yeah, that's great.
So I want to say good morning to those of you who are joining us. I see the numbers changing a little bit. Casey, I saw you jump in here. I don't know who else is out there. I just see the numbers jumping. So click the likes, click the loves, put a comment in, say good morning. We'd love to see you. And as we're doing this, thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
As we're doing this, share this out, because we would love to have other people joining us in this class as well.
And beyond that, just taking this and applying it today.
Exactly. So we're talking about this battlefield and coming into an awareness of who we really are. And it's not the battlefield of our mind. It's not external forces that are really stopping us. It's our awareness. That's the pivotal beginning point, right?
Yeah.
And being aware of our SWOT, right?
Yeah. And Carl Jung, so noted psychologist, noted looking at behavior, looking at people, and his thought was, your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens. I was just looking at my quote because I have it on my note card. It's one of those that I keep in front of me because we tend to dream. We want to look outside. I want to be the astronaut. I want to be the doctor or the nurse, whatever, fireman, whatever, or the teacher. And then in hindsight, we don't look inside to grow.
And I think part of that is in really knowing what you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it does bring in these external forces, because when we know what we want, then we start to have that resolve. We start relying upon our strengths rather than our weaknesses, and believing those outside voices that tell us you can't, it's not safe, you're not good enough. It's in knowing.
You got a spot on your head. So you stand off.
So we start to look for our strengths.
Yes.
And we build upon our strengths. And those weaknesses then start diminishing a bit.
Right.
And all of a sudden, as we begin this quest, we find the opportunities that are waiting for us, rather than finding those threats that are standing outside waiting. Is that what you've discovered?
Well, absolutely. But it's important to understand that and understand what those threats are, because then you can put together, if you have this big dream, you're going to have a threat. Because something is going to stop you. There's going to be an obstacle, a rock, whatever you want to call it, a big mountain in front of you, and you're going to need to get through it. So understanding the threat is important so that you can build a team to address that threat. Look ahead. A good leader always looks further than the team to make sure to start clearing out those obstacles, those rocks, the things in the path that might stop the team from performing.
I love that. Thank you, Joe. I came across a quote too. Good morning, Rose. Good to see you today. I came across a quote from James Russell Lowell, and he said, "No one can produce great things who is not thoroughly sincere in dealing with himself." Are you thoroughly sincere with dealing with yourself? What are you doing today to live into those dreams, those thoughts, those hopes and desires that you have in your mind, those passions that have been put on your heart to move forward? So we're breaking through some of these walls this week.
Awesome.
5 days.
Yes.
And we'll put the link down below, because we're not including everything on Facebook Live.
No.
And that link will take you to a place where you can sign up, no charge. And you'll be able to get the worksheets, the little assignments that go along with this. And really do believe that in those 5 days, you will see a noticeable difference in your thoughts.
Absolutely. You know, it's small steps that take us further. If we think about this big step, you know, and sometimes you talk about got to take massive action, but that sometimes precludes us from going forward. And you know,
absolutely.
One thing I found when I was down with people in Guatemala is we were helping them learn what leadership was. The big step, they couldn't figure out how to be a better listener. But when you broke it down and said, well, if you sat and shut off the TV for 1 hour with your family,
that's a big one. Yeah.
It's a small step. I can do that. I can shut off the TV. I have control over it. And then, you know, that leads to a bigger change.
So we're looking for big changes this week, but it'll be in the form of small steps moving forward. Good morning, Eric. We are just wrapping up our morning this morning. It's great to have you guys here. Sign up. We'll put the link again in the comment box as we sign off this morning. And we will see you again tomorrow morning at 7:30. Until then, if you have any questions, if there's any way that we can help you, put comments in the box or direct message either one of us personally. Yeah. Happy to talk with you, pray with you, whatever it is that we can do for you. Until then, be blessed, be a blessing to others, and really go out and have a terrific day. Think into what it is that you want to do to be sincere to yourself and to help others in the world today. Take care, and thank you, Joe, for joining me today.
Thanks, Lisa. It's great to be here.
All right.
Yeah.